Hey, this is Carlos. Welcome back. This is, of course, the Dating Advice Guru, Secret Dating Tips for Women. These are the secrets to unlock his heart with, of course, me. So today I'm going to give you 5 ways to not let heartbreak ruin your life. If you've ever been to room 346 in Heartbreak Hotel, well, that's the room that I used to have reserved. That's where I spent a lot of lonely and sleepless nights trying to get over those relationships that just didn't work out. Look, getting dumped sucks, but the worst part is staying in Heartbreak Hotel way beyond your reservation. Sooner or later, you got to check out. And I'm going to give you 5 of my essential strategies for getting past that heartbreak. Now, the first thing you got to understand is, remember, you're always going to get over the guy, right? I mean, unless this is your first ever big romance, which, hey, it could be, but more than likely it isn't. You got to remember, you've survived all the past ones. You'll get over this one. Also, it's not really him that you were in love with so much. You were in love with how he made you feel. Sure, he had a great smile, had those beautiful eyes, he had that way about him, and there was that future you imagined with him, but that wasn't what you really fell in love with. It was the feeling of it all. Remember, he was one, you'll find another. And yes, being dumped always makes him look better. We tend to fall into the pattern of, oh, he was the only one for me, he was going to be the one. Well, guess what? I bet you said that about other guys too. When he ripped your steel beating heart out of your chest, well, all you can think about was how awful it felt and how great that guy was. But in reality, just being dumped made him look like the quality candidate. He probably wasn't. Something had to have been wrong in that relationship. And remember also that it's not really a broken heart that you've got. It's more like a death in the family. This is a grieving process. Losing a relationship is a little bit like losing a friend, a close friend, or a relative. It feels like somebody's died and you have to go through that grieving process the whole way through. So let yourself experience all those stages and eventually come out on the other side with some acceptance. All right, so how to get out of Heartbreak Hotel. Tip number 1, don't try to skip over the pain. Look, sometimes the breakup was coming one way or the other, and you might be tempted to just want to fast forward and get to that ending, the acceptance of your situation and moving on. But guess what? Your heart will tell you otherwise. It's especially dangerous when you pretend that you're over it and you're not really. Because let's face it, you are emotionally unavailable right now and you need to let it go. Take a little time to get through it or you're going to wind up breaking, well, some other poor guy's heart on a rebound. Let it go. Heartbreak Hotel checkout rule number 2 is use some affirmations to get you through the rough spots. Look, some affirmations really suck because they just sound goofy and corny and you don't believe them. But a lot of them do work if you put them in your own words. I'm a big fan of them and they really do work. One of the best ones is, you know what? I want to be happy. You can say that to yourself over and over again. I want to be happy, because you do. We all do. That's one of your most positive, powerful affirmations to get you through the rough spots. Another little trick is to fake your smile until you get past it, because weirdly enough, faking a smile will actually activate the muscles in your face, and it tells your brain, hey, you're smiling, you must feel happy, and it actually changes your mood. It has a weird little reverse engineering effect. Heartbreak Hotel checkout rule number 3, Trace, cuss that boy out. Yeah, you heard me. Swear your hat off at him if that's what you want to do. Use some 4-letter words that would make a sailor blush. Him. Kiss my. I'll admit it. I've got a little bit of a potty mouth, so this kind of comes easy to me. But researchers have established that this is the kind of emotional venting you need. The ability to cuss and swear is one of those ways you vent emotions you can't do otherwise. They give us an extreme to go to when we really need it, and swearing may also serve an important function in relieving pain. Yeah, this came to us from researchers, and you got to believe those guys, right? Heartbreak Hotel checkout rule number 4 is to make a list of his overwhelming dumbosity. Look, one of the best ways to push yourself towards a faster recovery and getting over this guy is to keep a list of all the stuff you absolutely hated about him. And I know you're saying, but Carlos, I loved everything about him. He was perfect. Right. Look, Cleopatra ain't the only queen of denial. Get it? Denial? Yeah, anyway. Look, I get it. You know, when you're in a relationship, you got to learn to accept these things. But if it's not working out, it's not the relationship you're in anymore, well, you got to learn to get a little bit angry at him. Get angrier than Darth Vader at a light side of the Force convention. That'll work. Heartbreak Hotel checkout rule number 5 is don't plot to get him back. Please. Plot to get yourself back. Yeah, face it. I mean, you probably made a lot of sacrifices to stay in that relationship. Women tend to make more sacrifices to keep the relationship moving and steady and on track. But, well, typically guys just go along for the ride, right? And it's not an insult or sexism of any kind. So my best advice for you is to take a break, at least 1 month of no dating of any kind, and I mean any kind. Don't let your friends set you up on those blind dates to help you get over it. They mean well, but those are the worst things to do. To get over it, you need to be alone, not dependent on a new relationship. Instead, just take the time to recharge your batteries in your brain and your emotions so that you can go back out there and try again. Trust me, you don't want to go back out there and repeat the same mistakes. And I don't care what you do in this little process of healing. Just do stuff that is for you. Even if it's doing charity work that you do for others, that's still for you because it gives you a good feeling on the inside. I know this is going to sound eerily familiar to other advice you've probably heard that says, take the time to heal. Well, let me ask you, did you actually take that advice and do it? Most people don't, and that's why I want you to take me seriously on it. It's the most important step in your recovery, and it's the one that everybody ignores or avoids. Look, if you want that guy, and you want the guy that's going to be yours, is going to stay with you, no more heartbreak, you finally get the relationship that lasts a lifetime, in other words, your soulmate, if you're interested in learning how to find that guy, the good news is that it's not all that complicated. All you need to do is give him the right signal that tells him you're the one, you're the soulmate. And you can find this out by watching my presentation at datingadviceguru.com/soulmates. That's datingadviceguru.com/soulmates. Hey, she's got to be the one, right? That's what you want him thinking. Get him to think that and feel that and believe it. Go on over to datingadviceguru.com/soulmates. And I'll talk to you again soon. This is Carlos Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. Live and love with passion.